All right, everyone. So, we're going to talk about, how to optimize your roofing website for conversions in 2020. And, and, you know, it's really an important aspect, right? Your website is really the hub of all of your digital marketing activity, all of your digital marketing. So, so as we go through this, this is part of our digital dominance method. It's a webinar series that continues throughout the year, and it kind of just keeps going in sequence. So, there are a lot of ways for you to generate a lead online and things like that. But, we're going to kind of break these down all the way through the year. So, of course, you have your search engine optimization, which your website plays into a lot. We have your pay-per-click marketing, retargeting, paid online directories, repeat and referral business, pay-per-lead, buying leads, things like that. All of these are, most of these come from digital marketing, social media marketing, referral programs using email marketing, things like that. And so throughout the year, if you don't know, this is an ongoing webinar series. So today we're going to talk about conversion rate optimization, and we're just going to build upon this all year long. The previous webinar, if you want to go back and watch it, was the 2020 Internet Market Guide to Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors in 2020. You can check that out on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search for Roofer Marketers. So, first of all, let's do some housekeeping, right? I know I haven't done this yet, so if you could turn off your cell phone or throw it on Do Not Disturb, turn off your Facebook. If you're serious about, increasing the revenue in your roofing business, if you get, give us the next 60 minutes of your time, I really think that you'll find a lot of value here and be able to, to really get some key things that you can implement in your roofing business today, right? Not tomorrow, not a month from now, that you can implement today that will really help to increase the revenue of your business this year. So for those of you that don't know us, I'm Jim Aline. I'm the co-founder of Roofer Marketers, co-author of Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors. So that's a book that's available. You can buy it on Amazon. We do a free plus shipping offer through our website if you want to check that out. We're active members of the National Roofing Contractors Association. We only work with roofing contractors. So day in and day out, we only do digital marketing for roofing contractors. I'm also the host of the Roofing Success podcast. So if you have some time, check that out. It's on all the streaming services, Apple, Spotify, Google, all of those things. So check that out. And so, I want to start today off really talking about the problem, right? The problem a lot of times in digital marketing is maybe you start to get some traction in digital marketing or in, some traffic to your website. You've done some SEO, you're doing the right things, but for some reason, you're just not getting the phone calls, right? And that's the most important thing in your marketing efforts. And in these marketing efforts, in putting money into search engine optimization and building your website in a proper way and maybe doing pay-per-click advertising and doing all these things, it's a big investment, right? Roofing companies usually have large marketing budgets in comparison to some other, kind of local small businesses. And it's because it's extremely competitive, right? It's the roofing industry is extremely competitive. And so, a lot of times we run into companies that have traffic, right? Maybe you've been around for a while, your website ranks pretty well, you have traffic to your website, and you're wondering why is that not turning into the phone calls for our company? And so without that marketing spend turning into results, of course, that results in a low return on investment. And you want your marketing dollars. Marketing is not an expense. Marketing is an investment. So you have to expect a return on that investment. And so, a lot of times in people's marketing strategies, they don't, it just doesn't generate the number of leads for the investment, and that leads to a lack of growth, right? So what we're going to talk about today mainly is how to build a great site, but a site that's built to convert leads consistently into visitors consistently into leads. And you may be doing some offline advertising, doing some direct mail. You may have billboards. You may be doing TV commercials. You have your trucks wrapped that people see around town, and they're going to start Googling you because of that, right? So all of this traffic, if you're putting out social media posts, all of these things is going to kind of funnel back into your website. And you want to take that traffic that's coming into your website and build momentum off of it to build into consistent growth, right? You want consistent growth in your roofing business. And so you want to keep the phones ringing, your salespeople closing, your crews busy, and keep business booming. And in that is your website is really, the hub of that, right? Your website is the place that people, when they go and look up your company, if your salesperson sat down at their kitchen table and did their sales presentation to them, and the second that they leave that house, that person's Googling you, right? You got your yard sign in the yard, the neighbor drives by, like, oh, what's the name of that company there? Okay, let me look them up, right? So your website is the hub of all of these marketing efforts these days. And so why is conversion rate optimization so important? It's pretty obvious, I know, but look at scenario one here. Let's say you have 500 visitors per month to your website at a 5% conversion rate of those people to phone calls, right, to leads, and a 30% closing on that would be 7 jobs. Say $2,500 average profit, to make my math easy. That's $17,000 in profit to your company in that time period. But if you have the same visitors and you can increase that conversion rate from 5% to 15%, that's 75 leads, right? At the same conversion rate, now you have 22 jobs. The average $2,500 average profit. Now you're looking at making $55,000 in profit versus $17,500 in profit. So taking what you already have and being able to convert that at a higher percentage. And it goes down the line, right? It starts maybe with your website, but it goes all the way down to your salespeople and how they're converting. So always optimizing the conversion rate on every step of the process. So of course that's, triple the leads and triple the value. So, can conversion optimization really have an impact in your business? Of course it is. This is Prominent Construction. Before we started working with these guys in 2015, and they had a nice little website put together, and they were kind of trying to hide their phone number in this little tiny font up here, and they were doing a good job of trying to put some trust symbols forward, but they just really didn't have anything put together that really converted well. So when we built them the new website and put all of the trust and conversion factors into place, this is the last year they had 546 calls from organic and Google My Business listings, so organic traffic. And so it really does make a difference how you can present this and put this together to turn those visitors into leads, right? This again, just another example of this was April 1st, 2019 to October 31st, 2019. So the roofing season here in Minneapolis, had 537 calls, 274 from their Google My Business, 263 from organic. So in those organic calls, the conversion rate on that is what we're really trying to focus on there. I am going to make sure that I have the question and answer open here too, just in case anyone has any questions. So, as we're going through this, so the why is pretty obvious, right? Getting your website built to convert is is an extremely important part of optimizing those leads coming into your business. And so next we'll go into how can we or you get your website to convert in that manner, right? How can you add the things to your website that are necessary to turn that visitor into a lead? So we'll talk about how to optimize your website for maximum conversion and lead flow. I'll drop this in the chat here for everyone. Let me drop this link in the chat. We put together a little workbook that kind of outlines a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about today. Let me make sure I drop it to all attendees. So there's a link to the workbook there, everyone. But this will be a workbook with just the basic outline of what you need to do to increase the conversion rate on your website, and it'll follow along with a lot of the things that we're talking about. So if you want to download that, that's great, and you can use that for future reference also. So in that workbook, it starts. We're going to start talking about the 10 critical elements in getting to enhance the conversion rate on your website. So getting the basics in order is the first thing. And the basics to us is having your phone number in the upper right-hand corner of the website. That is a very basic conversion element for your website. It's where people's eyes go. It's been tested time and time again through all kinds of industries that's the best place to put your phone number. Now, don't just put it up in the upper right-hand corner. Make sure that it's very visible, right? Don't use a small, tiny font for that website. Make that a very bold, bright, easy to see font for that section there. Ensure that there's an easy access to an online web form, right? So making sure not everyone is going to want to make a phone call. Some people would rather just kind of put their information in and have you call them back. So make sure that there's an easy online form that they can fill out. Add credibility, at the top of the page. We call this above the fold. So when you first land on a website, you see the top of the website, and then the bottom of your screen is what we call the fold. Everything above the fold is what people, you kind of want to put the most important things, because that's what they see when they hit your website right away. As you kind of scroll down, the page, less and less people will get further and further down the page. So you want to have all of these things right up front, right above the fold. Ensure that you have clear calls to actions on your pages, what you want them to do. Schedule a free inspection, schedule a free estimate, call now for, XYZ offer, things like that. And speak to, you can use special offers to match the services that they're looking for. If there's a special warranty offer on your asphalt shingle products, you can say, hey, call now and receive the lifetime warranty if you're GAF certified, right? Or, whatever it is, GAF Master Elite, things like that. So go in there and make sure that you're making special offers to the services that to the services on your website. Make sure you're using your website. Make sure that your website is mobile optimized. Of course, we all use these things all day long, right? So a lot of the traffic that you get is through mobile. And so make sure that there's also a click to call function on that website. Because again, you want to make it as easy as possible for people to reach out to you. We use multi-step contact forms, and we'll go through this a little bit later, but that encourages the customer to complete the form and finish the information, and start, maybe give clients the option to book online or have a phone call set up to automatically contact them immediately. And we do that, and I can show you how that works a little bit. We're going to talk about speaking to your target customer avatar, right? To convert a visitor to a lead, if you're talking in technical jargon to these customers, the specs of this shingle or this or that, you're going to have a tough time. So you have to be able to speak to the customer's fears frustrations, things like that, and why they should choose you. You have to be real, right? People buy from who they know, like, and trust. So you want to use authentic images of yourself, your team, on your homepage, your about page, and throughout the website. And, you know, if you get a chance to have a website welcome video or background drone video, videos for your services if possible, videos explaining why someone should contact you versus the competition, leveraging social proof, so showcasing your online reviews and putting them right on your homepage, right? So those are some of the things. So, you know, I like this to be a little bit more interactive. You know, we got, you know, 20 something people on here today. You know, what is the one element that will have the biggest impact on the results of your overall internet marketing efforts? Maybe drop something in chat. I don't like to be alone here speaking to myself in the studio. So if you guys could drop something in chat, you know, if you're thinking, what's the one element that might have the biggest impact on your results? We'll keep moving. And then how do we optimize for conversions, right? So you have your traffic coming in, and then you want to turn that traffic into phone calls. So let's talk about, is your website set up to convert visitors to callers? We're going to take a peek at a website right now and just kind of walk through the elements live. But what I'd like for you guys, anyone who would like me to review their website, we could do this live. Drop your website in the chat. Drop your website and URL in the chat, and we'll take a look at it and walk through it. So let me pop one open. All right, leaksmith.com. We'll do that one. All right, thanks, Tom. All right, I'm gonna pop one of these open here. So we'll start with ours, though, and you can kind of see what we're talking about, and then we'll move on to the ones that people drop into chat here. So this is what we're talking about, is everything loads a little slow on Zoom here, but you can see, you know, a lot of people are coming to your website to check you out, right? So in coming to your website to check you out, they're going to want to look at your reviews. So we give them the opportunity to do that right away, right? That's one of the first things that we give them. Up here in the upper right-hand corner, you can see a large font with the phone number. Schedule free estimate if they don't feel like calling there. We're bringing in these trust symbols. This is what I'm talking about here, above the fold, right? Above the fold, we have all of these trust symbols that they're Better Business A+ rated, they're Google 5-star rated, they're Owens Corning Platinum Preferred, they're Home Advisor top rated. They're a part of industry associations, so they're a serious business owner, right? They're part of the National Association or National Roofing Contractors Association, National Association of the Remodeling Industry, you know, and then we're speaking to them in their own words, right? They're an elite local roofing company. They're the trusted Twin Cities roofing contractor. Now, these websites are built for search engine optimization, but they're also built for conversion. So, of course, we want to rank for roofing contractor, right? Twin Cities roofing contractor, local roofing company, roofing company. So you have to make your sales copy, the copy on your website, kind of have a blend of conversion rate optimization and sales copy. So let's see, Sean said we're redoing ours now, very sad about it. So, you know, it's a tough process, and you have to find the right people. But again, you know, speaking to the fears of those consumers, right? Are you experienced? Are you licensed? You know, are you what kind of warranties? That's a big one in this industry, is warranties, right? People want to know that you have great warranties. If you're in a retail market versus a storm restoration market, you know, do you offer financing, zero down financing? That is a fear of this consumer, that they have to, you know, spend, you know, 12 grand on a roof tomorrow, right? Bring in the authenticity of your brand, right? So this is Justin and Chad. They're the owners of Prominent. There's a couple of the trucks in the background, but that's going to get people to relate to you, right? These are just they're normal people. It's know you, like you, trust you, We bring in a video on the page to help increase the time on page for search engine optimization, but to give the person, it's a little, a little commercial. And then again, we're always asking again for the, for them to book an appointment, giving them that option over and over again. So these are, all like the basics of your optimization, conversion rate optimization. So let's flip over here. Let's look at Tom's. We'll take a peek at Leaksmith. So first thing I see is that your website is secure, so that's awesome. Still loading, not a big deal. So got your phone number. So I don't like that this pops up right away and kind of drives this phone number down. It kind of threw me off a little bit there. So if I say, I don't mind live chat. Live chat isn't a bad thing, but serving Metro Atlanta and Athens since 1989. You got your phone number in the upper right-hand corner. Schedule free estimate here. Not too bad. Got some good imagery. Looks like these are actual pictures of things that you do. Total jobs completed. So you're bringing in that, here. So I like how you have this. Whoa, F to A+ scale. Okay, I see what you're saying there, that you have an A+ out of F to A+ scale. I think you could take that off of there and just say how you have the rating. I might bring these trust factors a little bit higher up. I would put them above this roof replacement, roof repair, storm damage, so that it's one of the first things that people see on the website. How do you see Google Voice and searches using voice response affecting websites? How are people preparing for that? So I'll get to that question. We could get to that question, Rachel, for sure. So the roof, the whole roof and nothing but the roof. All right. Why choose us? So it looks like you have a lot of conversion rate optimization going on here, but it looks like you're missing a couple things in the technical search engine optimization factors. The roof, the whole roof and nothing but the roof is not the best, not the best. That copy that I'm mentioning, there's that combination of search engine optimization language and sorry about that. I just flipped to another one. And sales copy kind of has to be a mix of both. So you're not optimizing, this page is not being optimized for, say, roofing contractor in your area, like Atlanta roofing contractor, Atlanta roofing company, something like that. All right, nice trust factors, before and after pics, authenticity of the brand here, right? So that's a good one. There's Tom right there. So not too bad, Tom. National Association Roofing Contractors. So pretty good. So I think that moving some of those trust symbols up a little bit further, and then also, also bringing in, what did I mention? Bringing in more. It needs to be written a little bit more for SEO. So there needs to be some SEO language on there that mixed in with this to help you get the visitors to your website. So, all right. Hope that helps you out. Let's go to, let's see who has one in here. Nicole. Nicole, did I talk to, I think you emailed me yesterday. Let me see if this is Greg G. Roofing. All right, Greg G. Roofing. So this is, now we're looking here, not too bad. Phone number in the upper right-hand corner, not too bad. You got your Better Business Bureau symbol here, so you're trying to bring in some trust factors. Got your chat popping up. Welcome to Greg Roofing. Again, in the same way as Leaksmith, that you guys are not really optimizing for search engine optimization. So I'm looking at this website. You may not have as much of, you may have an acquisition of traffic issue along with that. I like that. This is kind of cool how you're flipping through those symbols there, but I think you could bring them down into the middle right above the licensed 10-year warranties. I like watertight warranty. I like how you're speaking to the fears of the consumer there. I would just leave the logo up here and bring these malarkey symbols right above here. And you don't have much content on this page, right? So I would add more content to the page. You could see how let's go back to prominent here. You can see how much content is on the page. Starting at the top and scrolling down, we're really talking to the consumer. We're talking about our services. And then again, why homeowners choose Prominent Construction, right? So we're continuing to go down the page. There's probably 1,800 words of content on this page, speaking to the fears of that consumer. Hundreds of 5-star reviews. So we're bringing in, reviews from their Facebook, from their Google, really trying to build that trust with the consumer. So I think you have you have a good base that you're starting with here, but I think you could do a lot more. So let's see if anyone's dropping. Tom, what is the average workmanship warranty you see, and what would it be good for us to increase trust? So, I see workmanship warranties anywhere from 10 years to lifetime. It is kind of what I see, and it depends on you, right? How do you want to sell that? That's it kind of is an individual thing for your company, but I would say the longer your workmanship warranty, the more trust you can convey to the consumer in that. So, all right. So Nicole, hopefully that helps out a little bit. Let's see here. Yep, phone number. I don't know how let me see how this is going to look on mobile. This doesn't. Let me pull it over to mobile. So I don't like that this this pops up on mobile. I'd rather you have a click to call button. This may be it. Of course, this is on my and of course this is I don't like this rollover that pops up also, especially if it's on mobile. So on mobile, this gets a little. It doesn't look like your site is mobile optimized. So that's going to be a big thing, and that's a big no-no there. So getting your site mobile optimized will be a great thing for you. Let's look over here at Tom's and drop it down into mobile and see what it looks like on mobile. See how Tom's looks like on mobile there, Nicole, where his phone number's right there at the top, schedule free estimate and things like that. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit nicer. And then Prominent, of course, we have a tap to call button at the bottom that kind of stays on the screen, right? So the first thing that we want people to do is call. So then we still have the little drone video going on, but as people scroll down, schedule free estimate, but there's always this tap to call button, because when someone's on their phone looking at you, there's a higher probability that they're looking to make a phone call, right? So let's see who else won. Roofers Mass, Emilio. How you doing, Emilio? Let's take a peek at Emilio's. Hopefully that helped, Nicole. If you have any follow-up questions, just drop it in there. Emilio wants to know what has been people's experience with Google local service ads affecting pay-per-click efforts. That's for a whole nother webinar, Emilio. But I'll give you my quick answer on that in a second. Let's see. Sean dropped in. Good job, Tom. That's right. Good job, Tom. Now you don't have it. You got it. You're not doing too bad. You got some decent stuff going on there. And it sometimes it just takes these little tweaks, right? And just small tweaks to get this. So all right. So United Home. All right. So who are we looking at here? Is this Emilio's site? I like this. New England's most trusted roofing company. So you're trying to rank for roofing company. That's an important thing. Let's look at your title tag here. Your title tag has roofing company in it. You could get rid of that home aspect of it. I see your phone number here twice in the upper right hand corner. You could probably just increase the font a little bit on that. I would like to see that font size. Maybe fill up this whole box a little bit more. That could help with that. Book your free roofing estimate. You got your trust factors right down there in between. I like the drone footage going on. All right. Bringing in the authenticity, right? So you guys are already working on some of the stuff, best of the best, right? So these are the things that everyone should be doing to increase I'm sure that you guys have a decent conversion rate optimization or conversion rate on your site already. United Home Experts. It looks like this is fully mobile optimized also. All right. I'd like you maybe to speak to the fears of the consumer a little bit more, a little bit higher. Why should I, when? That's good. Our roofing services include inspections, repairs, full roof replacement. Bringing in a little bit of a gallery. I love the videos. You know, potentially bringing one of these videos up a little bit higher. I think that might be something that you'd want to test out too, because again, as the further down the page, the less people will see it. So put your best stuff right at the top. I like this. I like having the team photos in here. That's awesome. The number of square feet of roofing installed. That's pretty cool. Got your service area well defined. Now I don't like this form, and I'll tell you why. It's cumbersome today, right? Especially on mobile. And let's pop it over to mobile real quick. I'm sure your site is mobile optimized. So on mobile, let's go scroll down to that form. So on my phone, I find these forms are a little bit difficult on mobile, right? So getting your thumb in there and into each of these fields, and then additional information, and then for some reason the submit button went away, and that may or may not be on mobile, but the submit button went away. So have that checked out right away, because that will definitely hurt your conversion rate if that submit button isn't there. But I don't like this as much, especially with on mobile. I don't like forms like this, and I'll show you. Here's an example of a form that we use. It's called a long form, and we'll go into it a little bit more. But you can see here, especially on mobile, it's just they're doing one thing at a time, right? Repair or replace existing roof, next step, right? It's a very easy process to do on mobile. If you have too many forms filled, a lot of people are on Google Chrome as their app on their browser for their phone, and they have all of their information saved in there. So when they put their name in there, all this stuff starts popping up and it gets in the way. So it's a little easier when you're doing those a simpler form like this. So those are some notes for that. And any comments on that? Questions on that, Emilio, Tom, Nicole? Just drop them in chat. All right, so we're gonna kind of go off subject a little bit here with a couple of these questions. So the first question, and then we'll get back to, well, here, let me drop back to the slides. Let me go back to the slides here. And we'll go to the next slide, and you guys can look at this while we're talking about this. We have a kind of a cheat sheet that you can download that's more visual than the outline that I set up, the workbook that I gave you guys earlier. So this will kind of have your a little bit more of a visual aspect of things too. You just go to roofermarketers.com/instant access. I'll drop that in the chat real quick to all attendees. So that's that. And now while we're on this slide, we'll just take we're going to go off road a little bit. And I know some of you have been you guys are regular participants on these webinars like Rachel. And so, some of this stuff we talked about on the 2020 Internet Marketing Plan, and a lot of it kind of overlaps, right? So, you'll hear some of the same stuff over and over again. And so now you have new questions and want to jump in and get those answered. And so Rachel says, how do you see Google Voice and searches using voice response affecting websites? How are people preparing websites for this? So voice search is going to continue to grow. All right, we have 23 people on the webinar right here. Type a 1 in the chat if you have a Google Home or an Alexa device in your home. Just drop a 1 in the chat if you have one of those devices. Let's see. I want to see what percentage of you guys have those devices. Ryan Ryan's got one. Tom's got both of them. He has Google and Amazon listening to all of his conversations all day long. Sean does not. I don't either, Sean. I have not upgraded to those devices, or I have not purchased any of those devices. Mark has one. Derek has an Alexa. So as you can see, more and more people are getting these devices, and so it is something. An unplugged Alexa, Rachel says. So this is something that's going to be coming in the future, right? Is voice search, and it's kind of early on, just like this device early on. There's some of the earlier apps for this device were, they were okay, but they didn't suck you in like the apps of today, right? They won't keep you on there for hours like Instagram or Facebook and some of these other things. So, people are moving to voice search. I think that it's potentially still a ways away. My thoughts on that is that, and it's not just my thoughts. I follow some of the top thought leaders in the in the world on these things, and I from I kind of put together what they think and form my own opinions. But I think the best idea of it is it's going to be about branding, right? Your website can't just be about roofing. I mean, it has to be about roofing, but you also have to emphasize your brand, because when voice search comes around, people are going to say, Alexa, call the best roofer in my city. Right? And so Alexa or Google will have the opportunity to determine who that is, right? Right now we get a list, right? But it's still based on Google's algorithm, right? But who's at the top of the search engine results page? Google paid spots, right? So don't think that there will be a pay to play version of that question and answer, for one thing. Another thing to think about is your brand, right? So now, instead of someone saying, call the best roofer in city state, they say your brand name. They say, call Prominent Construction, because you have branded yourself as the expert in their area. So I think that that's going to be the most important thing for voice searches. Wouldn't most voice searches be roofers near me? Yes, for sure, Mia. And that is because that's that's essentially the highest search volume term right there on, for Google too, for people typing it in. It's roofers near me. So that's what people would probably be saying. But there are a million ways, or thousands of ways that people can say it, just like there are thousands of ways that people can type it in. So I'm sure that your website will have some indication of who they put in that area. But maybe it goes back to your Google reviews. There's a lot of things that they could tie in to that question. So that's just my kind of ramble opinion on it. Schedule appointment, please advise. All right, let's see if that instant access, maybe that link is, I'll check on that link, the instant access link. If I don't, if it goes to the wrong page, I'll send everyone who participated the guide directly. So thanks, John, for letting me know that. So that was, now, Ryan wants to know if this webinar will be available for his team later. Yes, it will be. Let me go back up in the chat. Sorry, guys, when I'm here by myself, it's going to take me a little bit. Amelia, what's people's experience with Google local service ads affecting pay-per-click efforts? Has it helped or hampered your roofing pay-per-click campaigns? So what we have seen is the cost per click on searches that have local service area, Google local service ads showing, the cost per click in those searches, it has gone up, because there's only 2 spots below those 3 Google local service ads, where there used to be 4 ad spots. So because there used to be 4, you could still be in the 4th spot and get some of that, capture some of that traffic. Now there's only 2 spots. The competition has gone up in that area. So that's for Emilio. All right. Will this webinar be available? All right. Thanks, Jim. Good review. Good. Do you use a specific form program for the long forms that you mentioned? Yes, we do use a specific program for that. We kind of build it in. There's love to use them more. We use HubSpot forms at the moment. Yeah, and out of box has limitations for sure. With HubSpot, I think that you could create. We use a lot of the stuff we use through Instapage, which is a landing page software, and so a lot of those forms are an Instapage form, and you could zap those into HubSpot through a thing called Zapier. So for Emilio there, check out check that out for that. Gravity Forms is a plugin for WordPress that you can create these long forms with. That's another option there. So just said I wouldn't. Most voice searches, all right. So Tom wrote in, so it's good to do both, the guaranteed Google and ads at the same time, question mark. Yes. So we believe in an all-encompassing approach. If you haven't been on our stuff before, man, you have 5 opportunities to generate a lead for your roofing business online. So I would encourage everyone to be participating in each one of those opportunities. First being the Google local service ads. Second being the pay-per-click advertising. Third is an ad that shows up in the map section that is run through pay-per-click advertising, and then being ranked in the map section is your 4th opportunity, and then your 5th opportunity is getting your website ranked. So that'll transition us, I think, pretty well into getting talking about your website. And so on your website, to increase your conversion rates and in thinking about speaking to that consumer, if you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys, right? So little rhymey, say that 5 times fast. It's a little difficult, but in that, understand and speak to the fears of your consumer, or understand what we refer to as your ideal customer avatar. And your ideal, you want to think about who your ideal customer avatar. I'm looking at this list. I know a lot of you on this list, and a lot of you are going to have different customer avatars, right? Some of you guys are in retail, residential retail, right? That's what you do. Some of you are storm restoration experts. I'm looking at here. There's a couple of commercial people on here, right? So your ideal customer avatar is going to be different based on that. And in doing so, in understanding your ideal customer avatar, you're going to be able to speak to them and help to increase that conversion rate. So let's look at the demographic of a residential retail, homeowner that may need a new roof, right? Maybe they're 35 years of age or older. The decision maker may be typically female, occasionally male. Maybe they're married with 2 to 3 kids. They have an income. This would vary in your area, but you want to kind of formulate this out. What the average annual income is of that person. They're family oriented. They're reliable. They're easily frustrated. If you don't answer your phone, they're not calling you back, right? They like to please people, like to the same in return. They live maybe in the suburbs in an upper middle class neighborhood. And their pains or frustrations start with that their roof is damaged or aged, right? And needs replacing. They need to get someone out immediately, right? When they see that water spot on their ceiling, hey, we need someone out here quick, right? They're worried about that. They need to get this issue resolved quickly. They're too busy to deal with it, right? This is maybe a 2-income family. Both parents work in the suburbs. These people aren't looking to spend a lot of time. They're too busy. So they're looking for a quality person to come and take the worry away from them. They're worried that the situation could cause more damage, right? That little water spot on the ceiling, man, that's a big one, right? So worried that it will cause more damage. They have fears. The first fear is being ripped off, right? There's contractors on the news, a couple times a month. Hey, this person ripped off all the, all these people in this area, that they're being fed that so much. And there are those contractors out there, or should we call them contractors, right? They're not professional contractors for sure. Their fear of paying too much for something, they're worried about having their home damaged by faulty workmanship. So having those warranties that we talked about, having the workmanship and the material warranties. They're worried about having to wait around, right? They don't have time to take 3 hours out of their day for you to show up and do your inspection. They're worried about being inconvenienced, right? So for someone not showing up on time, things like that, they're worried that the bill can be more than they can afford. So that is speaking to financing options, right? Speaking, about their goals and desires, getting the roof fixed, having the issue behind them, having a well-kept home, making sure that that the kids are healthy, happy, successful. So not just speaking to the exact goals of of getting the roof fixed, but these people also want to have the respect and approval of their fans and family and friends, and they want this taken care of and have peace of mind. So all of those things, and speaking to people in that manner, will really give you the messaging that works to help them want to call you, right? To increase that conversion rate optimization. Maybe estimate done in 24 hours, affordable financing options, trustworthy and experienced team, lifetime warranties, local to the area, not fly by night. We see that as a big one. All right, Tom, we'll see you back in a bit. So, here are ways to speak to your ideal customer avatar, right? You're an elite local roofing company. You're experienced, licensed, best industry warranties, affordable financing options. So these are some of the things that speak to that. We've kind of gone over a lot of this stuff, so I just want to have better visual representations and kind of knock it out a little bit more. Bringing in that authenticity, being real and authentic. People buy from who they know, like, and trust. And in today's, Google climate, right? In the age of Google, about 70% of the buying decision is done before they call a company, right? So by the time they call you, a lot of those people, if you don't, unless you're really off on your pricing, or you show up and looking shabby at the kitchen table, or say the wrong thing, a lot of times, a lot of this information is done beforehand. And think about the way that you buy, right? So, having video, leveraging video and multimedia, you can actually speak to the fears of your consumer directly to them. Right? Creating videos about the most commonly asked questions, the most common fears that these people have. If you do that, you will stand out so much above this. Okay, John received an email with the information. Yeah, so if you fill out that form on that site, it'll shoot you the guide. Don't worry about. You could set an appointment with me if you want, but you don't have to, for sure. Leverage social proof, like we talked about, bringing in that social proof. People trust online reviews almost as much as a recommendation from a friend or a family member, right? And 80 something percent, I think it was 84% in the study that I saw, 84% of people are going to Google first when searching for a home services provider. So 84% of people are going to Google first when searching for a home service provider. They trust those online reviews almost as much as a recommendation from a friend. And 70% of the buying decision is made before they call you. So make sure you have all of these things in line, or you're going to, really get left behind. So use special offers that match the services. We kind of talked about that. Free add-ons, anything to convert visitors and get that contact information. Make sure that your site is mobile friendly. We looked at the site, just a few minutes ago that wasn't mobile friendly. There is a great percentage of people that are searching on these phones. And so 3 out of 5 consumers search for local businesses on their phone. So, make sure you have that tap to call. Make sure you have all of the right things in order to convert those people to a lead for your business. Easy multi-step contact forms, like we talked about a little bit, making this an easy process, right? This is what Amazon did, right? Amazon made it easy. You go on Amazon, you find anything that you could possibly want, you press a button, your credit card is saved, your shipping information is saved, everything is saved in there. Go, it's at your door in 2 days, right? We want to make people don't want to work for things these days, right? They don't want to put in too much information. I saw a form the other day that had like 32 fields. They were asking for what type. They had little check boxes for, are you looking for asphalt shingle or metal? It was like, man, what you ask them on the phone. Ask them when you get to the kitchen table. Make it as easy as possible. It seems less overwhelming when there is just one field to fill out. And then once they get deep on that field, they're not turning back. They're not going to stop because they just think, oh, it's just one more, right? And they have skin in the game. That's when they have skin in the game, when they're filling out those forms. Key ideas here, going back through everything, I know it's a little bit repetitive, but add real and authentic images, add video elements, showcase your online reviews, get the basics in order, update your calls to action on each page, leverage offers, add live chat, offer clients the option to book online potentially, or a form that automatically contacts the customer. Our forms are tied into our call tracking system, so the second that someone hits submit on that form, it does an outbound dial to our client. Our client picks up the phone, it says press 1 to connect with a new web form lead. They press 1, they're on the phone with the customer within 20 seconds of them hitting submit on that form. So that's all within that conversion rate optimization, right? And then from there, work on your conversion rate optimization through the sale process, your appointment setting, and everything that goes along with it. So, all right, we didn't do bad. We got about 20 people left on the out of the 23 that we started with. So, let's take a second here. How many of you feel, drop a 1 in the chat if you feel that your website is optimized for conversion. Drop a 0 if you don't think it's optimized for conversion. Give me a second to have a sip of water here and relax for a second. It's I talk all day, so it's not too bad for me, but looks like Sean needs some help. Emilio, I agree. You got some good stuff going on there. You did a good, Craig's website is under construction. So here's going to be some good points for you, as you're getting this thing built out. I don't know if you've hired someone to build it out for you or if you're doing it yourself, but you don't have to redo it, right? So a lot of people in here will have to redo it. You can, when you're starting from scratch, and if you do it right the first time, right? Do it right the first time. Vanessa says they're rebuilding their website. So great. I hope some of these things will help you guys also. All right. Awesome. All right. Let me see. Someone dropped something in the Q&A. If you have residential re-roof customers, commercial roofing, and roofing for tract home builders and custom home builders, how would you suggest to best address these each unique customer types with a single website? So in that, let's unpack that a little bit. So within your website, you're going to essentially have content for each of those, right? Your homepage is the most general of those pages. So you will have to speak to maybe the number 1 customer avatar, the person who's visiting your site the most. And if I would say that you would want that to be, your residential re-roof customer or your commercial roof customer, because your tract home builders and your custom home builders, that's so much more of a referral relationship. But you can say, in there, we work with the best builders in the area, and maybe have a page about speaking to those builders and why why you're the best in the area. So you can craft your content in that way. But so on your what we refer to as inner pages, so the more detailed pages inside, so your website slash home builder roofer or something like that, right? On that page is where you can speak to that person, right? On your metal roofing content is where you're speaking to the residential consumer that is looking for a metal roof. On your commercial TPO page, you can speak to that person's customer avatar. So the home page, you want to definitely, you'll have a more generalized approach to your homepage in the avatar that you're speaking to, or you're speaking to the your kind of highest volume, right? If you're 70-30 residential commercial, then on your homepage you'll want to speak to that residential homeowner. So hope that helps you. All right, let's move on here. We're getting close to an hour here. So which of the following would you implement? Pick 3 in the next 30 days. So and I like, pick 3 of these. Does it speak to you? Look through your website and see how you can speak to your target customer avatars a little bit better. Adding some real authentic images, some videos, adding some of these. What 3 can you add in the next 30 days? So make sure this is an actionable event, right? Actionable event. Don't just come here and sit here and listen to me talk. Actually write these things down. Hey, we're going to do these 3 things in the next 30 days. Sean said he's going to do his first video testimonial today. He's nervous, but really, really unique, any unique questions that you should ask. Video testimonials are amazing, right? It's an amazing way. So if you put that video testimonial, man, put it right there on your homepage. We'll have to speak separately about the questions to ask, but really just about their experience. What did they expect from the experience, and what was the experience? I think that's a great way to deal with a testimonial. Like, what were you worried about in dealing with when you were getting your new roof, and then how did we solve that and alleviate those fears and things like that. So if you can work on that, that'll be amazing. Drop in those action items. Think of 3 things, write them down, and actually get them done. If you need any help from us, of course, we're always around. We offer a free lead flow acceleration session. A lot of you have been on the phone with me. That it's essentially, and sometimes I'll go up to 2 hours with someone just walking through every question that they may have. It's not a sales pitch. It's information. We'll go through, very detailed into all of these things. Craig also said, do you have advice for videos that slow the site performance? Yeah, so you'll have to optimize the video quality. And so if you're using a video on your site, you'll want to keep it to a certain, a smaller size, right? A smaller image size. If you have a full HD video that's sitting on your site, it's going to be a little bit, so you'll have to optimize it for the actual area that it's in. So you may have to bring the resolution down, but it'll still fit in that area. And then just remove the full screen button so people can't pop it up and it doesn't look as good. We'll give you a rankings report, show you where you're ranking, analyze your online directory listings and consistency. We'll do all kinds of stuff for you, but mainly I'll give you some advice to what you can do, show you the best practices in each one of those areas. And of course, we're pretty good at this. So, we're doing this every day. So we're really always optimizing everything. John, thanks for the compliment. Anyone else have any questions? Drop them in chat now. I don't want to hold anyone up, but we're an hour on the dot now. So anyone that has to jump off, feel free to jump off. If anyone wants to stick around for a little bit and ask some questions, I'd be happy to answer them. get them in the chat here in the next minute or so, and I'll start answering those. Again, this is part of an online series, Digital Dominance Methods. So next month we'll be having another webinar. Every month we'll have another webinar into more specifics of each of these topics. So hopefully all this helps you out. Feel free to give us a call again. Give us a call. Go to roofermarketers.com/apply. Shoot me an email. Call in, whatever you want to do. And if no one has any more questions, we'll jump off. Sean, no problem. No problem. Craig, yes, you'll get invites in the future. We have your email. We have your email. You won't get rid of us unless you unsubscribe or turn off the internet now, because we'll probably be retargeting you. You'll see us in your Facebook feeds. You'll see us on Instagram. You'll see us when you go to any website on the internet. So Ryan's asking how we can see this webinar later on. Probably Monday we'll send out the replay link. So look to check your email next week. If you don't, it'll get uploaded to our YouTube site or our YouTube channel. So you can always go to our YouTube channel, just search for Roofer Marketers on YouTube, and we can it'll be there along with all of our past webinars and other little videos that we have. We'll put it out. Let's see here. Thanks, Ryan. Good to see you, man. How was the IRE? How was the rest of your IRE? I think that's Ryan. I think we had, yeah. All right, guys. No more questions from anyone. We'll jump off. You guys have a great day, and hope to hear from you soon. Let us know if you have any questions. Oops, someone did drop. All right. All right. Have a good one.